funeral is about to begin, sir.
I think we just picked up Dracula. It's got a death curse!
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Welcome back to another episode of Never Not Horror Quick Cuts. Quick Cuts is our off-week episode where instead of doing a deep dive movie review, we do something else. And this week we are kicking off a brand new mini-series of Quick Cuts episodes. If you tuned in last time, we talked about how after decades at this point of the Tales from the Crypt series being in rights purgatory, Shudder finally got the rights to stream it.
Awesome.
And they are releasing a season every Friday until all 7 uncut seasons are available. So I am a huge fan of Tales from the Crypt. I have the Crypt Keeper tattooed on my arm. I was going to watch these regardless, but Rich is into it. So we are going to do a series of quick cuts where we review each season, which we'll get into it, but it turns out the later seasons are much longer than the first season. So there might be like season 2 part 1, season 2 part 2 kind of things, or part A, whatever. But first season is only 6 episodes. So our feature discussion today is going to be season 1 of Tales from the Crypt. We're going to talk about each episode, and then we will do a ranking. And then once we get through all 7 seasons, which it'd be like Horror by the Decades, we won't necessarily do it every single quick cuts. Like it'll just be, eventually we'll get through them all, and then at the end we'll do a whole series top 13 ranking. So keep a running top 13 as we go along. That's what I'm going to do to make it easier for later.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's going to be our feature discussion. We're going to talk Tales from the Crypt season 1. I am Steve Clark.
I am Rich Hansel.
So if you are new to Quick Cuts, or the show in general, every other week we do a deep dive movie review, and then we do Quick Cuts, more conversation-based casual episode. As we do on Quick Cuts, before we get into our feature discussion, we like to talk a little bit about what we've been into horror-related. So, Rich, kick us off. What have you been into?
Well, I haven't watched any newer movies. I did put on a movie, and I fell asleep right away, and I woke up and the credits were rolling, and I can't even remember what it was, but it was a brand new horror movie. Hopefully I'll get back to it soon. But I have had some books, and one of them was Who Goes There?
Oh.
Which was...
I've read it. What the Thing is based on, The Thing from Another World.
It's a very short book.
Not very long at all.
1938 by a guy named John W. Campbell Jr., who is also goes by, I think his real name is Don Stewart, right?
I don't know. I just knew him as John W. Campbell.
Yeah, I think his real name is Don A. Stewart, and he wrote as a, what do you call it?
A pen name.
A pen name of John W. Campbell Jr. He did publish Who Goes There in 1938, and it inspired The Thing from Another World, one of my favorite movies of all time from 1951.
Yep. And
also John Carpenter's The Thing. And I did like it. And it's an easy listen. And I listened to it, the audiobook, and it was maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
so.
I read I think I have it anymore, but I bought at one time a physical copy.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it was 100 pages. It may be right around 100 pages.
But I really liked it. I love that kind of writing style. I'm not a big sci-fi guy. I don't know why. I haven't delved into it enough to say
I'm not
I am.
huge on it either.
But I did enjoy it a lot, and I can see this one being right there with The Legend of Sleepy Hollow for me, where I listen to it once a year and really dig it. But yeah, it was cool. I really liked it. And then this is a book that was published in 2026. The next book that I'm currently listening to, and it is called Monumental by Adam Neville.
I know Adam Neville. I've never read any of his books, but he's a British author, and he's done a lot of he's got a lot of books, I think. And I've heard good things, but I've never read any.
Yeah, this is called Monumental, and I'm telling you now, this is a damn good book.
All right.
It is a really good book. I probably have 2 hours left. I think it was a 12-hour listen, and I'm down to like the last 2 hours. Really good stuff. There's a lot going on, but it does start with some 6 kayakers, some friends that are all going down, and it is in a foreign country. It's not in the U.S. It's not in the UK.
Yeah.
They're going down this river that's going to open up into like a bay, like the ocean bay. But some things go on. And when I say they're friends, they are friends, but there's a little bit of a power struggle. There's a little bit of backstabbing, and there's a lot of backstory to all this stuff. And then it's definitely worth a read or a listen.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it so far. Like I mentioned, I haven't finished it, but it's good.
He's a very well-regarded author.
It's good.
Are you familiar with any of his other books?
No, not at all.
So the one that I know that will mean something to you, he wrote a book called The Ritual, which the movie on Netflix.
Kind of like The Wendigo.
Yeah, that movie is based on his book, The Ritual.
Okay.
He wrote that.
And you know what? That kind of makes sense because Algernon Blackwood wrote The Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie is kind of like The Wendigo. If you've ever read the book.
I've not yet, but it's on my list.
Really good. Really highly recommend it. But
The Wendigo and The Willows.
And this one feels like The Willows. The first probably 2 hours feels like The Willows because The Willows is a couple guys going down on a canoe down this river. And it has that vibe, so I can see that this guy is influenced by Algernon Blackwood. And it's Monumental is, I can see it a movie. It's got to be in production by now.
And you said that came out, that's 2026? It just came out?
Yeah, published in 2026. But I highly recommend
he's
it.
Definitely,
really
he's an author that I've meant to check out for a long time, and I just haven't gotten to. So
his character work is really good, and like I mentioned, there's a lot going on. Just a lot inside the story. There's a lot going on. It's amazing how he keeps me focused because sometimes you can lose track, you know.
Yeah,
for
sure.
But he keeps you wanting to know what the hell's going on.
Nice.
And that's about it. That's about it for me.
All right. I don't have a ton this time. As far as movies go, watched Phantasm again, which I always enjoy doing that. The only new to me movie I watched, I believe it came out in 25. I think it was last year. So it's on Shudder. It's a movie called Dead Male. And it was an interesting movie. It's very different, very pretty unique movie. It's about these people. It's about this dude who, well, it's people. They work in a post office, but specifically this one guy. His job is to decipher dead mail, like mail that comes in that the address is unreadable, or there's articles in it that are important that somebody would really want. So he's almost like a mail detective to figure out where the stuff came from.
Last line of defense before this thing
just gets tossed in the trash. Yeah. And this guy's fantastic at the job apparently. But they get a letter. Well, it's not even a letter. It's a piece of paper that got put in a mailbox. And this is in the opening scene of the movie, so it's not really a spoiler. But it's just a shard of paper that's been ripped off, and it says kidnapped, help me, White Ranch house on State Route, whatever. And there's blood stains on it.
Holy shit.
And it was in the mailbox. We see a guy in the opening scene of the movie, so this isn't spoiler. There's a dude, his hands are handcuffed and he's chained and he's crawling to the outside to a mailbox, the blue bins where you put your mail, and he puts this in right before his kidnapper grabs him and pulls him back inside. So this letter goes to the post office, and it goes to this dead mail guy to try to figure out where this came from. And then it kind of spirals into flashbacks of what led to the kidnapping, and it's interesting movie. Like it's really well filmed.
Sounds really good.
It's weird, but I really enjoyed it. I liked it. It's not like something I wouldn't say I loved it, but it was very interesting. Kept me engaged the whole time. Pretty unique, like very original idea.
Mystery,
well acted, well filmed, like absolutely worth watching. It's on Shudder. It's called Dead Male.
Okay.
So yeah, check that out. But yeah, that's the only new movie I watched. As far as book goes, I've only finished one book. I'd mentioned last time or time before I was reading a book called The Shadow of the Mothman by Hunter Shea. I'm almost done with that. So I've been reading that on my Kindle, which is much slower than when I listen to books. But so I'm almost done with it. I'll be done with that by the time we talk next time on Quick Cuts. But the one that I did finish was a reread, a book that I had read once as a late teens, early 20s. And it is a classic. And in one of life's little synchronicities, I just talked about it on our last episode. And it was before we did it, but I mentioned in the fun facts for Phantasm that the idea for Phantasm came from them, Reggie Bannister telling Don Coscarelli that he should try to get the rights to Something Wicked This Way Comes. And when I was doing that research, a few days before, I had picked up Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury on Audible, and I listened to that. So, have you ever read it?
I have listened to the audio, and I didn't. I liked it, but it wasn't one of my favorite books of all time.
Yes,
but I do need to do a reread.
So I read it when I was maybe 20 because I had heard it's very well. Ray Bradbury is a very famous author. Fahrenheit 451 is like a literary classic about
October Country.
I've not read The October Country. The Martian Chronicles, I've read that. It's a bunch of it's a short story collection basically, but they're all about Earth settling Mars and like that process, and it was pretty good. But so the only three I've read were those two and Something Wicked This Way Comes, and I remember it being a challenging read.
Yeah,
when I was a teenager. So
I remember liking the very beginning, like the when you first get to know those two boys.
Yeah, with the lightning rod salesman.
And once it got going, I kind of like tuned out a little bit.
Yeah, it's very, very, and this in a way is typical with Ray Bradbury writing, like absolute legend of like fantasy, dark fantasy fiction, but it's very flowery, prosy, right? Like, I mean, very fancy and artsy, and that's not. I prefer a more minimalist, like direct. Just, I appreciate. I see what he's doing, and I appreciate it, but it's just not really my thing. So, cool story. I like the idea of it, but even listening to it, like, I mean, I was just zoning out because most of my listening is most of it's driving because I drive a lot for work, but mowing or whatever. And I mean, I was zoning out a lot, which I give myself some grace for that because I've read it before, so it was a reread. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. We talked about on Phantasms episode, Disney bought the rights to it, and they did make a movie of it. And I've never seen the Disney version, but I've heard it's actually really good. And I've heard it's pretty creepy, and maybe on Disney Plus. I heard it's
kind of like a Goosebumps.
Yeah, I mean, it's a YA story. It's about like 12-year-old kids, 13-year-old kids, but I would be interested in watching the Disney movie version of it just to see, because the book, I like it. I enjoy it. I don't regret that I listened to it and read it again or read it the first time, but it is not an easy read at all. Like, it's just Ray Bradbury's writing is very artsy, purple prose is what they call it. It seems
like to me, like there's a part in the book where the dad of one of the boys starts coming along with them on their And,
It
and
is.
that's kind of like where the part where I was like, I don't know. I kind of started tuning out.
Yeah.
But the two young 12-year-old boys, man, at the beginning,
Will
I was like,
Holloway and Jim Nightshade.
yeah, I was all about it. I was like, man, this is really good. And then it just kind of went away.
Yeah, I'm glad I read it, but yeah, I'm with you. It's certainly not one of my favorite books or anything.
I do want to give it a read.
The audiobook on Audible is read by Paul Giamatti, the actor.
That's the one I have.
Yeah. And he does a really good job. Yeah, it's cool how some actors do amazing audio reads.
Yeah.
Like that's some of the most fun parts of audiobooks is when you see you'll pick up a book that you already like that you want to listen to again, and it's read by a famous actor, and they do a really good job with it.
Yeah, I listened to man, and I cannot remember who read it, but it was Tom Sawyer. Have you ever read Tom Sawyer?
I've read Huckleberry Finn, but not
Tom
I read that in
Sawyer
school.
is way better than Huck Finn.
I've never read it.
Really good, but I think it was
Mark Twain wrote him.
Yeah. Damn. Who's those actors? There's a couple brothers. One of them just got in trouble recently. James Franco.
James Franco is the one that kind of got canceled. Yeah.
I think James Franco reads it.
Okay.
And he does a hell of a job
All right.
on Tom Sawyer, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, great book.
I read The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in high school, and I actually liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I've never read Tom Sawyer. I have to do that.
Tom Sawyer is, I think, better than Huckleberry Finn because I've read them both and listened to them both, and Tom Sawyer is a really good book, and it's kind of like Ray Bradbury's, except good all the way through.
Okay.
There's not that part that you kind of like. Yeah.
Tom Sawyer makes me think of the Rush song. And I don't really like Rush very much. It's not my thing. Like, appreciate the talent, but it's not my thing.
Yeah. I'm not
Tom
either.
Sawyer, mean drive.
Anyways, we got off on a tangent.
Right. Canadian prog rock. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Oh, the only other thing, if you don't follow me on socials on Facebook, I did announce my next book will be coming out in the fall.
You really threw a curve to
so
me.
I'll throw the tidbit here to the listeners. This is not the first time that I've done this, but because I procrastinate so much, and it's sometimes I just get lazy and I don't do it. Nothing will make me get my shit together and write a book faster than publicly saying this book is coming out this fall. So now I have a window that I have to hit, and that'll get me going. So I mean, this book is well on its way. Like, I mean, it's not like I have to just start now. I've written a big portion of it, but so I've got several months to finish it up.
I'm excited about this.
But yeah, I'll have a new book. It'll be my sixth solo book called Project Kara, coming out in the fall. I haven't set an exact date, but it'll be fall of this year. So it's gonna be kind of a sci-fi horror kind of thing about a lonely guy who meets a girl online, and things escalate. He's not sure if he's getting scammed or if she's the real deal, but she is extremely possessive, and he finds out just how bad things can get. So,
all right,
yeah. So
I'm excited.
So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of follow my stuff, you can find my links to my socials on steveclarkbooks.com. But yeah, I'll have a new book. I did not have a new book come out in 2025, so I was determined to at least get one out in 2026, hopefully two. And I'm working on a collaboration also that we haven't officially announced because we don't have a cover and a title yet, but we're very near the end of the first draft of a collaboration book with me and Matt Wilderson, who is a fellow indie author, and he does all my book covers also. So we've been working on something together that it's kind of fun, campy Evil Dead kind of vibes. So
nice.
So that'll be a fun one too. So if things work out really well, both of those will hit this year, but we'll see how it goes. So
yeah, no pressure.
No pressure. So that is what I've been into. I got a bunch of shit I want to get into, like a lot of newer movies that I want to watch, but not enough time in the day. So
yeah.
But everybody knows how that goes. So since we're good there, so we will go ahead and get into our feature discussion, kicking off the Tales from the Crypt series review, season 1. And again, I mean, I talked about it a little bit on Quick Cuts last time, but I adore Tales from the Crypt. I love old horror comics. The old Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, Haunt of Fear, shock suspense stories. I love those. I have a bunch of they're very affordable, but they are oversized. They're called the EC Comics, which is the company that made all those, but the EC Archives. And every issue of those comic books has been re-released in trade paperback, like oversized. They're gorgeous. They look good. They're only like $15-$20 a piece, and you get usually 5 or 6 issues of the comic in one. So if you get them all, I mean, the entire Tales from the Crypt series is in like 5 volumes, and then the entire Vault of Horror.
That's awesome.
And the shows, the Tales from the Crypt, pulls from all of those. So it's not just Tales from the Crypt. Like, there are episodes that have stories from the Vault of Horror or the Haunt of Fear, because it's all pulling from the same writers, same artists and stuff. So I love it. I mean, that stuff inspired what I do with my books and my writing, like Tales from the Crypt and the Twilight Zone and the Outer Limits and Tales from the Dark Side, like
Tales from the Dark
TV horror. Like that's where my short story love comes from. Like in addition to reading shorts like Stephen King's Night Shift and Skeleton Crew and stuff like that, but I love a good short story. So that's where all this comes from, and I was super pumped. I do own the whole Tales from the Crypt series on DVD, but as I've said before, I don't even have a DVD player hooked up. So if it would take some work to watch them. And I think some of the episodes were on YouTube, but I mean, this is just really nice that we have it now on Shudder, and you can stream the whole thing. As we said, every Friday a new season is coming out. As of this recording, I think this Friday will be season 4. So season 1 was only 6 episodes. Season 2 is like 18.
Wow. And
I'm assuming the rest of them are similar to that. So we will probably break this up into like season 2A, 2B, because I don't want to try to cover 18 episodes in 18 episodes of a show in 1 episode of this podcast. That's a little much.
You'd have to quit your job.
Right. Well, I mean, if that's what it takes. So we'll do that. And again, like I said before, I mean, this won't necessarily be in every Quick Cuts thing and to the end. We'll be doing other things if themes come along, or we feel like hitting a remake roulette because we need more time, because that's probably going to be, that'll be a thing. So
yeah,
just like Horror by the Decades, I mean, we're going to need some extra time here and there to watch all these episodes. So, but kicking it off today with season 1 of Tales from the Crypt, available on Shudder. And again, if you don't have Shudder, I really recommend it.
I do too. It's great.
There's really good Shudder originals. They buy up movies from the film festivals, and that's the first place you can watch them. Yeah, lots of cool series and documentaries, and it's one of the cheaper streamers. It's part of AMC Plus also, which they, as of this recording, which will air next week in real time, but there is like a special going on where you can buy for $30, you can get a year of AMC Plus, and that includes all of Shudder plus AMC stuff. So, I mean, it's really worth it to me, and you can watch all the Tales from the Crypt now. So let's get into it. Well, I talked about before, we didn't have HBO, so I didn't get to watch them when it was doing that. But when Fox got it to do reruns of the edited for TV with no nudity and stuff, those would be on Saturday night at midnight, and I would stay up on the weekends and stay up late and watch Tales from the Crypt, and I loved it. So what was your experience with Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt was airing about the time that I had ever first experienced cable or any type of TV other than
antenna.
Yeah, because when I lived in a small town in Ohio, Collinsville, there was nothing. You got, 5, 9, 12, and 19.
Yeah, right.
And there was no cable, and all of a sudden, cable moved into Collinsville, and we moved out. And we moved to Mansfield, Ohio, yes, up there by the Shawshank Redemption. And and we lived in the middle of nowhere there, and there was, of course, no cable until later, about my sophomore year, we finally got cable. And that was about the time that Tales from the Crypt came out on HBO. So I was watching them on there, and I was totally into it. Big horror fan, obviously. And, so I was watching them there. Now, I do remember watching the first season, and after that, I'm sure I watched them, but
yes,
my brain is really foggy about that.
Like, I remember these early ones a lot, but the later episodes, I know I haven't seen them all.
When I looked at the titles, they brought nothing to me. But as I'm watching, I'm like, man, I do remember this.
Yeah.
So that's about where I am, and I'm sure I didn't watch every season.
No, I did not either, for sure.
So I'm really looking forward to checking them out because, man, they are some good stuff.
Yeah. Rich and I were just talking pre-recording just how good this whole first season is.
It's amazing.
I know later it's not as consistent. This first season is lights out good.
It is really good.
And we'll get into that. So, and another good thing about Tales from the Crypt, and it's similar to like what happened with Twilight Zone, where you got a lot of known actors in these episodes, like people that are in other things, and directors. It's a deal where every episode has a different director in most cases, and I mean they're people who have done pretty significant stuff. Like these are not. Time. I mean, it's letting people come and play basically.
For some of our older listeners or middle-aged listeners, you've probably watched The Love Boat, and it was chock full of the who's who of actors. Yeah, they were guest starring before they got famous. Scott Baio and all these great actors that grew up to. I said Scott Baio was a great actor. But I mean, there's some dandies in The Love Boat, if you remember The Love Boat. And this is kind of the horror version of The Love Boat. It's amazing. Yeah. Of who is in these. Yeah.
It's impressive. Like, I mean, basically every episode in season 1 has someone in it. Yeah. I mean, some of them you're like, holy shit, that's that person. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to walk through, we're not going to do full plot walkthroughs, but we'll give some info and just a brief synopsis of each one of these episodes and give our thoughts, and then at the end, we will rank our... Yeah. We'll do only 6 episodes, so it won't be a long ranking, but we're going to do our ranking of the 6 episodes of season 1. So, the very first episode of Tales from the Crypt Season 1 is entitled The Man Who Was Death, and this was directed by Walter Hill, starring Bill Sadler. So Walter Hill also directed the movie The Warriors and 48 Hours. And then Bill Sadler is a legend to me. I mean, he was in The Shawshank Redemption. He was in Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. He played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I mean, he's been in a ton of stuff. The Green Mile. Yeah. He was the dad of the twin girls and that. Like, he's one of those guys that if you don't know the name Bill Sadler, if you see his picture, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Great actor. So in The Man Who Was Death, Bill Sadler plays a he's an executioner in a prison. He's the guy that throws the switch for people in the electric chair.
Yep.
And he loves his job. And he ends up losing his job because the state just outlaws executions.
Yeah.
And he wants to keep his job because but prior to being the executioner, he worked on the generators at the prison, but they already filled that position. So he's basically out on his ass, and he's trying to find his purpose again, and he decides to take justice into his own hands. So
vigilante.
So he starts taking out people who are getting off with crimes, usually murder of some sort, by electrocution of some sort. So
they get off on like a technicality.
Yeah, like some of the bullshit.
But,
stuff.
They did it, but
right
because they withheld evidence or whatever.
Yeah, like. So there's a dude who killed his wife, and him and his mistress get away with it, and he finds them in a hot tub and electrocutes them in the hot tub, and he's taking these people out. And then eventually he's at a strip club and there's a stripper working who got away with some crime, and he's got electricity rigged up to light her up in a cage and electrocute her up in the stage. But the police bust in, they're onto him, and they catch him. Just in time for executions to be reinstated. And he gets to ride the lightning, and it's really cool because in the beginning, the way this whole one is filmed is really cool. Like, I mean, he's doing commentary, talking directly to the camera. So
I love it.
And it's so good. And he's in the beginning when he still has his job, he's talking about how all the prisoners being executed are always saying that the governor's going to call and give them a pardon, and just wait a minute, the governor's going to call, and they never do. And then at the end, when he gets caught for doing this,
he's doing the same
thing. The governor's going to call. Really, really good episode. Yeah. Bill Sadler is amazing in this.
Yeah, he is. I love it because he's looking right into the camera.
Yeah,
and
just
telling
the whole
story.
the directing style of it is really good. So yeah, that was the first episode, and these are, what are they, like 25 minutes?
Yeah,
usually. Yeah, they're not long.
None of them's 30 minutes.
Yeah, they're not long at all. So you could knock out a bunch of these in no time. All right, season 2 or episode 2 of season 1. I think this might be one of the most famous episodes of Tales from the Crypt, and it is entitled All Through the House. It is a Christmas episode about a psychotic Santa Claus escaped from a mental hospital, and it is directed by Robert Zemeckis, who directed Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Forrest Gump.
Yeah, one of the biggest,
holy shit,
biggest names in Hollywood.
Like when I was taking my notes for this, it's like, this is unbelievable. The people who were directing these episodes. And it stars Mary Ellen Trainor, who was in The Goonies and Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, she was married to Robert Zemeckis.
Okay, I didn't
She
see.
passed
I didn't know
away, unfortunately, while married to Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah, another one where you see her and you're like, oh, I've seen her and stuff before. Like, you've seen her.
And the cool thing about this Tales from the Crypt, we're going to get into Richard Donner.
Mm-hmm.
And Richard Donner directed Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
And this lady was married to Robert Zemeckis, who is also involved. So it's kind of like full circle. It's like kind of like a bunch of friends got together and said, "Hey, let's make a horror anthology TV show."
Yeah, there's another one coming later where the director had movies. There's an actress in his episode who was in one of the movies that he did. Like it's calling in people they knew. Yeah. It also stars Larry Drake as the deranged Santa Claus.
Yeah, you know who he was?
I knew him when I looked him up from Dr. Giggles and Dark Man.
Dr. Giggles.
Yeah, Dr. Giggles. That's a B horror for the ages kind of thing. So yeah, in this movie, in this episode, All Through the House, there's a couple with a daughter. It's Christmas Eve, and the wife kills the husband. She hits him in the head with a fire poker and kills him. We learn through dialogue stuff that she's cheating on him and trying to get his money or whatever. But as this is happening, she also hears, I guess it's a radio report or a TV one, but that there's an escaped lunatic from an insane asylum.
Yeah. And she also has a young daughter.
Yeah, and there's a young daughter upstairs waiting for Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But this, so obviously the daughter didn't see the murder happen.
She came down right after she had put the poker through the guy's head.
Yeah, she shoos the daughter back upstairs. She's killed her husband. But then there's this report that a lunatic has escaped from the insane asylum, and he is wearing a Santa Claus suit.
And this is Dr. Giggles.
Yeah. So she basically concocts this plan that she is going to pin this murder on the psychotic Santa guy. So she drags the body outside, and there's an axe on like a stump where they've been cutting wood.
And this psychotic Santa is killing people
with
by
an axe. Yeah, so this is all lining up.
So she's got to kill her husband with the axe, or he's already dead.
To keep this alibi looking good.
Yeah. So she calls 911 and says, "Oh, he's here."
She chops her husband up with an axe. But this deranged Santa Claus does show up at her house, unfortunately for her. And there's a cool scene where he's climbing the trellis. So the little girl upstairs sees him outside, and she thinks he's the real Santa. So she's trying to let him in. He's climbing the trellis to the second floor upstairs, and she's reaching out, and you see his gnarled old hand, and she's trying to grab him. And this lady has figured out that he's there, and she's panicking. And in the end, he does get it. Like, she runs in the house, and she goes upstairs to the bedroom, and her daughter's missing, so she's freaking out. But then she finds him, and the daughter is standing with this psycho Santa, and she's like, "I told you he was real," or something like that. And the mom's like, "No."
Yeah.
And I mean, that's it. But it's just, it oozes Christmas horror charm. Like, it's really good.
It is. I love it. I love the little twist where she's got to make it look like this killer did it, and then the killer really shows up.
Yeah.
And now she calls 911 to fake it.
Yeah.
But then she calls 911 because she really needs him.
Right, because he's actually here now. And that's what I love about, I mean, just as a plot device, I love the Tales from the Crypt stuff, because I mean, the zinger twist kind of stuff. That's what all of those are about. When you read those comics, it's always that setup.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a short story. You have to have it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what my short story books, Collapse of Ordinary and Twisting Parallels, like, that's what that comes from. Like, it's that, here's this little snippet of a scenario, and then something fucked up happened, and it's like, zinger, like, that's it. And some crazy twist. Like, I love that shit. Great, and that's what Tales from the Crypt is. So good.
That was episode 2.
2, yeah. So 2 bangers right off the rip. Episode 3 is called Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone. And this was directed by Richard Donner, you just mentioned. He directed The Omen. He did episodes of The Twilight Zone and The Rifleman. He directed Superman, the Christopher Reeve movie.
The Goonies.
The Goonies,
Lethal
Scrooge,
Weapon.
The Lethal Weapon. Like, all this shit. Yeah. And he's directing Tales from the Crypt.
Worked with Christopher Columbus a lot.
Yeah.
The writer, Christopher Columbus.
This movie stars Joe Pantoliano, who was in The Goonies. I've actually never seen The Goonies.
He was Francis Fratelli. Oh, you haven't seen The Goonies?
No, I've never seen it.
You have to see The Goonies.
I know a lot of people really like that movie.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's
one of those that I feel like maybe I won't like it because I didn't watch it as a kid.
Did you ever watch The Sopranos?
No, but I know.
He played Ralphie in The Sopranos.
So the thing that I know him most from when I see him is The Matrix. He's the, like, I wish I would have taken the blue pill guy. Mm-hmm. Like, he ends up being a traitor, which we just talked about how we're not big sci-fi guys, but I love The Matrix. That's one of my
I saw that in the theater.
The first movie. I love that movie.
I saw the first Matrix.
The sequels I didn't care as much for, but the first one's fantastic. Anyway, so in this one, this is about a sort of like a circus performer who is like death-defying. He does these stunts that kill him, or should kill him, but then he doesn't die. Mm-hmm. And we learn from backstory that he was like a homeless guy, basically, and this mad scientist doctor dude finds him and offers him a chance to be his subject for this new treatment he has where he takes the 9 lives from a cat and implants it in a person, which sounds ridiculous,
It does sound
but it works. So he is making all this money and becoming famous in this circus sideshow as like the death-defying whatever because he has 9 lives. So he'll do stuff like, I didn't write all the things down, but like one of them, he drowns in a water tank, and then he comes back to life after they drain it. There's more. He gets shot with an arrow and he dies. So he's doing all these things because he's got 9 lives, building this huge following. Everybody's coming out to see the show.
Yeah, it's like circus sideshow stuff. It's pretty good.
This one is similar to the first episode where he is talking directly to the camera and telling the story. Because the episode starts with the newest event where he's being buried alive.
Yeah, it also co-stars Robert Wool, who was in Bull Durham and Arliss. If you remember Arliss TV,
I do not.
It was a TV show. He was Arliss in that sitcom.
Okay, all right.
And he's a really good actor. He's kind of a typecasted thing, but man, he's good in this. He's kind of the crier, I guess, the guy that come see our famous,
the barker.
Come see our famous man that comes back from the dead.
Right, whatever. I don't remember what they call him in this, but the fantastic something or another. But so it opens like he's being buried alive, and they're gonna come back in like a day and dig him up. And so he's telling the backstory of the doctor finding him and doing this experimental treatment and then all the different things that he's done. So he is in the coffin telling this story to the camera. So he's already buried.
Yeah, he's not worried.
Yeah. But then at the end, he's in there telling the story, and then he's kind of has like a oh shit moment where he sees the cat that he got the 9 lives from in the beginning, and he realizes that the cat died to give him the 9 lives, which took away one of the lives.
So now
he only had 8,
and he's
used 8 already, which means that this time he is out of lives and he's not going to come back. And he starts panicking and screaming and beating on the tombstone, and like the workers in the circus hear him, think they hear something, but they just go on, and then the episode fades out with him. No. So that's the twist. Like he forgot one of the lives that he had already used because it got used before he had the 9 lives.
Yeah.
So that is episode 3, Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone. Episode 4 is called Only Sin Deep, directed by Howard Dutch, I think is how you say it. And he directed Pretty in Pink and Some Kind of Wonderful, which I do not like Pretty in Pink very much. My wife likes that movie a lot, but I never cared for that one. Yeah. But Some Kind of Wonderful I like quite a bit. Like I can get down with some 80s teen drama things. Yeah. Like Some Kind of Wonderful, Can't Buy Me Love, Just One of the Guys. I like some of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But Some Kind of Wonderful is good, and it stars Leah Thompson, who also was in Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yep.
And she was also in Back to the Future. She played his mom, right?
Yep.
And she was in the Howard the Duck movie.
She was in Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. So Only Sin Deep is about Leah Thompson plays a prostitute, a streetwalker, if you will. And she decides that she sees this rich dude, almost a little bit of like the Pretty Woman thing.
Yeah.
Where she's like, I'm going to get with that dude and I'm going to make it and all this stuff. And so she goes to this pawn shop. She steals like this pimp's jewelry after she kills him, and she takes it all to the pawn shop. And the
$10,000.
Yeah, the pawn shop owner, who is also a very recognizable guy. I didn't get his name, but he's a guy you've seen in a lot of stuff. He knows this stuff is hot, and he's not willing to buy it. But then he tells her that he will make her a deal. If she will give him her beauty, he will give her the money. And she's like, all right, whatever. So he wants to make like a clay mold of her face, which he does. And then he gives her the money. She goes and buys all the fancy dresses and shit. And she goes to the party and hooks up with the rich dude, and everything's going great. But then one day she starts to notice that her face is starting to age a little faster than it should, and she's getting wrinkly and old looking. She starts aging really, really quickly, and she goes back to the pawn shop to find out what's going on, because she didn't realize this was part of the deal, that she was going to age faster, because she really did give her beauty away. Turns out the pawn shop guy is buying people's beauty to keep his wife's body alive and give her, well, she's dead, but keep her body like
not looking
young.
like a zombie.
Right.
She wants to buy
her beauty back.
And he says, too late. You had 4 days. I think it was 4 days or 4 weeks or something like that. 4 weeks, I think it was. And she wasn't back in time to cash it in, as a pawn shop works. And so she said, well, how much will it take? And he says $1 million. So she goes back to her husband and kills her.
Steal from him because he's rich.
Steals all his jewelry and brings it back to the pawn shop and stows it down and says, I want my beauty back. And he screws her over. So she takes her face,
the clay version of her face,
casting of her face, and is walking down New York City, and somebody sees her, and she's an old lady at this point.
She's like really old.
And somebody hits her, and she drops casting.
That's right. And that's the Tales from the Crypt twist. That she did all this, and then she dropped the face and lost it.
She's gathering it up, and every society's walking by her like she's just a old vagrant. Get out of the way, old lady.
Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it ends. Like she's just a hapless old homeless lady.
It's sort of a monkey's paw thing where you wish for something and then it doesn't turn out like you thought. All right. Now that brings us to episode number 4 or 5. Episode 5. So we got 2 more. This one, episode 5, is called Lover Come Hack to Me, which is a hello boys and ghouls kind of thing. Lover Come Hack to Me, directed by Tom Holland, who directed Fright Night, Child's Play, The Langoliers, Thinner, a lot of shit that I like. Yeah. And then it stars Amanda Plummer. It's another actress you've seen in a lot of shit. Yeah. She was in Pulp Fiction.
That's she plays Bunny in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. The one I knew her, the first movie that I think of when I see her is kind of an obscure 90s comedy, dark comedy called So I Married an Axe Murderer, starring Mike Myers from Wayne's World, Mike Myers.
Yeah.
But she's in that, and I always liked that movie pretty well. It was like an early 90s comedy when he came off of SNL, but... So this one is about this couple who just got married and they're on their honeymoon to their family estate basically. Yeah. And
right out of the chute, you get the sense that this dude's marrying her for her money.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's an aunt that says she calls this new husband out like, you only want her because of her money.
Yeah. And to look at, my wife and I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance, so we see a lot of relationships that are purely about money or green cards.
Yeah.
And in this case, the dude is, he looks like a romance novel cover model. Yeah. Like he's jacked, long hair, like Fabio looking dude, and she's not an ugly woman, but she's not a beautiful woman either. So. Yeah, so you get the feeling that that's probably accurate. He's just with her for her money.
So they go on. They get married. They go on their honeymoon,
right?
And they go to a particular mansion.
Yep.
And she wants to go to this mansion. And when they go to the mansion,
they're going to consummate the marriage.
Yeah, they're going to do their thing.
Yep.
And
they do.
Yeah,
they do. But then there's a flashback almost of...
There's a lot
almost like a ghostly flashback.
There's a lot of family members that's done this on her side of the family where they've gotten married.
And they go to this castle house.
And they kill their...
Yeah. So the dude has a vision almost of this happening. And it looks like his wife, the woman he just married, killing a man. So he thinks that she's bizarrely cheating on him on their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Like he sees this happening and he thinks it's real.
Yeah.
And it looked in the episode, it is the actress Amanda Plummer having sex with some dude that apparently she just married, but she just married the other guy too.
Yeah.
And it turns out, like you said, that this is a recurring thing. And then he wakes up back upstairs in the bedroom and sees her, and she's got an axe. And it turns out that this is kind of a family tradition where the wives get a baby on the honeymoon, they get impregnated, and then they kill the husband.
Yep.
And then she hacks him up, and then it cuts to the next morning, and the aunt shows up, and they're all celebrating that. So it's like like the lady
family
killers,
lineage deal you gotta do.
So that is episode 5, Lover Come Hack to Me. And we wrap up season 6 with an episode called Collection Complete. And this is directed by Mary Lambert, most famous for directing Pet Sematary, the movie. Stars Emmett Walsh. Again, super recognizable.
Yeah.
He was in Critters.
Yeah.
Harry and the Hendersons.
I know him most from The Jerk. You
Oh,
remember
okay,
The Jerk?
Steve Martin.
He's the guy shooting the gun. And he's, don't stay away from the cans. He's shooting the cans.
Yeah, he's very recognizable actor. Also starring Audra Lindley, which I don't really remember her from this because I didn't watch that show very much, but she played Helen Roper on Three's Company.
Mrs. Roper,
Mrs. Roper, yeah. So this one is about this guy, Emmett Walsh. He retires from his company, the tool factory.
Yeah, never had a weekday off, and
he just retired. He's probably 65ish. So he's finally retiring, and his wife plans this retirement party, and there's decorations everywhere. And there's like a surprise party, like people hiding. And when he gets home, he's in a grumpy mood, and it's raining out. He's got his cardboard box of his belongings, and basically he just blows her off and tells her he's not going to go to this party. And then she goes into the kitchen. She's like, "I'm sorry, but we're going to have to cancel the party." And it's just a bunch of dogs and cats. It's not even actually people. Basically, as he's adjusting to retired life,
he finds out what his wife's been doing
for
every
40
day
years.
Is taking care of
animals.
Yeah.
There's dogs and cats. She takes in strays, like
birds,
squirrels. She's obsessed with animals.
This is what she's been doing for 40 years.
They don't have kids apparently, so she's filled her life with taking care of animals. She talks to them like they're people, and he didn't know any of this because he's at work all the time, and he is having a hard time adjusting. And because she's been around these animals so much, she starts treating him like an animal. There's a funny scene where like he gets up for breakfast this morning, and she's grilling up a steak, and then she drops it into the dog bowl to feed the dog, and she gives him some like oatmeal or something.
Yeah. I like the scene where she he says, "Oh, I got a headache," and she takes a brownie and stuffs the medicine in the brownie, like you would a dog. You know, you put the worming medicine in the hot dog and give it to your dog.
Yeah, and he flips out, and so he's trying to figure out how to put a stop to all this, and he's trying to also figure out what to do with himself.
Yeah, he needs a hobby
because he's been doing landscaping out in the backyard. And he's just chopping all the trees to shit. And there's a neighbor guy that keeps coming over and talking to him, and he's kind of venting to the neighbor how crazy she is about all these animals, and he's like, "Well, she's always been that way."
Yeah,
he just didn't know
for 40 years.
So in the end, he ends up taking up taxidermy to get rid of all these animals, and obviously his wife flips out because those are her friends, and he's been killing them and stuffing them. And in the end, the neighbor comes back over to check on things, and he sees her, and she's like, "Oh, everything's been really good. He's adjusting so well." and she has taxidermied her husband. He's just sitting in the chair, and he's all stitched up and mangled watching TV.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so, and I mean, it's a classic Tales from the Crypt zinger. So that is it. Season 1 is only 6 episodes, but they are solid front to back. Really good stuff. We'll do the rest of the seasons. We'll do the rest of the episodes, but season 1 is just 6 heavy hitters, like not a bad one in the bunch.
Yeah, for sure.
Not an easy thing to rank either, which is what we're getting ready to get into. So we've got 6 episodes to rank, and obviously this is by preference, like which ones we prefer the most. So we'll start with our least favorite and move on up. So Rich, go ahead and kick us off. What is your number 6? What was your least favorite of these really good 6 episodes?
Yeah, they're all good, so I don't want to say this is the one I don't like.
Agreed.
Because I do like
I like every episode of this
season.
season.
Like this episode, but I am going to go with episode number 6, Collection Completed, directed by Mary Lambert. I liked it, but the other ones were just...
Yeah,
I liked them that much better. And again, this is a good episode. It was a good episode. But yeah, I just like 5 other ones better than this one.
Like all of these are good. So
yeah, so
any assortment is going to be valid.
Episode number 6 is my number 6.
Okay, my number 6 is going to be episode 4, Only Sin Deep. This was the Leah Thompson with where she sold her beauty. Much like you, I mean, I liked it. It's a good episode. Well done. I just like the other 5 a little bit more. Or I just like the other 5 more. So, number 6 for me is Only Sin Deep.
All right, that goes to number 5 for me. And this is going to be Lover Come Hack to Me is my number 5 favorite. Again, a good one. I think Tom Holland directed this one. And you can tell this is somebody that went on to do Child's Play and all the other great movies, Fright Night. Just a good quality short story episode. But again, there's 4 more that I like better than this.
Yep. All right. My number 5 is also Lover Come Hack to Me. Agreed. I like it. It's just, I feel like every one of these is just going to be like, I liked it. Really good. I just like the others more. So, yeah. Number 5, Lover Come Hack to Me. We are agreed. So, you're number 4.
Yep. My number 4 is Only Sin Deep. I think that was your 6.
It was.
Yep. Leah Thompson in it. And a good episode. And I will say that all of these very much carry that horror comic vibe.
Oh yeah, man. For sure,
big time. And this one really
some
does.
More than others, but
but it just translates over to a short story movie form, and really good. Yeah. So my number 4 is Only Sin Deep.
All right, my number 4 is episode 6, Collection Complete, which means our 4, 5, and 6 were all the same, just in different orders.
Yep.
But yeah, this one really leans into the comedy that you're talking about. Like it's not even scary; it's just funny and weird, but more comedy than anything. But I like it. I like the actor and the actress, and it's just zany and kooky, and I like it. So, so we have the same bottom 3. We have the same top 3. I'm gonna wager they're all different.
I agree.
I think we're going to have all different orders.
I do too.
Okay.
All right. So that brings
me. We do not know. We have not looked at lists.
So that number 3 for me in the Tales from the Crypt season 1 is episode 1, The Man Who Was Death. And I love this episode. Like you mentioned, I love how he's talking to us as the viewer, as he's telling his story. Camera. It's awesome. And he's so proud of his job. And then the state takes away capital punishment, and there's no more electric chair. And then, but all of a sudden, it's time for him his vigilante justice gets caught, catches up to him, and they reinstate.
Guess what? It's reinstated,
and it kind of comes full circle. So very good stuff. But yeah, I really liked it. So that is number 3, The Man Who Was Death.
All right, my number 3 is gonna be And All Through the House, the Christmas episode. I mean, this is classic Tales from the Crypt. Like I said when we were talking about it, I mean, this is one of those episodes that when you say Tales from the Crypt, the TV show, that's what you think of that old deranged Santa Claus.
Absolutely.
Great stuff. I mean, these top 3 to me are just perfect. They're so much fun. And yeah, I'm putting it in at number 3, All Through the House.
All right. So number 2 for me is And All Through the House. This is number 2. Now, I really like this one. And right away, when I saw Mary Ellen Trainor as the star of this, I totally saw Lethal Weapon. If you remember, you've seen Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And
but yeah.
she is kind of the one that has to decide if Mel Gibson's character is crazy.
Oh, okay.
She works for the police department, but he has to go talk to her. And she
like a therapist?
Yeah.
Yeah, or a psychiatrist.
And she can say, yeah, you're crazy, or no, you're not
like
crazy.
If he's fit to do his job, yeah.
But and she is so good in this. She was married to Robert Zemeckis, who directed this episode. She was also, I know you mentioned you didn't see the Goonies, but she was the main character in the Goonies' mother. A lot of memories flowed when I see her in this movie from my childhood. But yeah, I love it. And like you said, Dr. Giggles and the makeup is just crazy. And then you got that twist in it where she doesn't need 911, but she's calling them to cover up her own crimes. And then all of a sudden she does need 911 because the killer is there now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Good
awesome stuff. So yeah, number 2, All Through the Night.
Okay. I thought that was going to be your number 1. Okay, well,
your number 2.
My number 2, and this is going to confirm that I was correct. My number 2 is Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone, episode number 3. I really like this episode. I always loved magic. I remember watching the David Copperfield TV specials they would do, and when he would make an elephant disappear, and and I remember there being stuff where there would be numbers on the TV, and you would touch them, and it would be now do this, and it was just a logic shit that would blow your mind. But so I've always been into that and circus stuff. So and just the zany thing at the end, wait a minute, I forgot one of the lives. Shit, I've already used all 9. That's classic Tales from the Crypt to me. So yeah, number 2 is Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone.
All right, and obviously
it's your number 1.
That is going to be number 1. Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone, directed by Richard Donner, and I just love it. Joe how do you say his name? Pantoliano from the Goonies. He played Francis Fratelli and The Sopranos. I watched The Sopranos religiously, and he played a key role in the first 2 seasons of that, Ralphie. And then Robert Wool, who was in Batman, Bill Durham, and like I mentioned, Arliss TV. It's good stuff, man. It's just so awesome. And the mad scientist at the beginning, he's not even in it much, but just in the beginning. And when he's just at first, when his first death, he's like, oh shit, and everybody's like, damn, he ain't coming back. And it takes a while for him. An hour later, the people that bought the tickets are kind of like, oh, this is bull crap.
Right. And
then right as they're getting ready to drive away, they're like, oh, he's back. And everybody rushes in. So that makes his second show even that much bigger. And it keeps going and going and going. And he's slowly kind of getting bored with it. And then all of a sudden when he's kind of really bored, and he's getting buried alive. And
And he also thinks that's the last one.
Yeah.
Because he knows this is the last time he can do it.
Yeah. And he's kind of, this is, here we go.
Yeah.
And he has that epiphany.
That image of the dead cat on the table is like, that fucking counted. Shit.
And I loved it. And it's just good stuff. So, yeah, my number one is dig that cat. He's real gone.
Yep. All right, and that means my number one is The Man Who Was Death, the Bill Sadler, the very first episode of the series. It's just so good. I love Bill Sadler so much. I mean, he's amazing in everything he's in. He's one of those, he's never really the lead necessarily. Well, in some things, I guess he is, but generally he's a side character, but he's so good in everything. Like, he always brings it. Been in a bunch of Stephen King stuff. I mean, I'm just a huge fan. Like you said, I love the banter with the camera where he's just telling you, and it's this real bouncy, like hip, almost like
so confident.
Yeah, right. Just like, I mean, he just brings it, and it's so good. And then the twist at the end that he gets busted for doing what he thought was justice to these people who were getting off on technicalities, and he rides the lightning and he's telling them to wait because the governor's going to call. I mean, it's really good. So I mean, I know that was my favorite episode of season 1. There is an episode of season 2 that I know at this moment in time is my favorite all-time episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Wow, really?
It's one that I remember from childhood, and I know it's in season 2, so like I know that's not my favorite one. And then maybe when I get to it, I won't like it as much as I remember, but yeah, I mean, it's that one. Those I can wager to say, I bet when we're done with this whole project and we've watched 7 seasons of this, there are going to be multiple season 1 episodes that are still in our top 13 at that point.
Okay.
Like, I think so. I think there will be more than one season 1 episodes that are still in our top 13s.
Okay.
I think. For me. Maybe not for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Right now, it feels like, I don't know how
right
you
now
can
all
outdo
6 of
these.
them are on.
These were bangers. All 6 of them were really good. Highly recommend it.
I've watched the first 3 episodes of season 2 so far, and they're all good. Like, they're all good. I haven't ranked them against the first season yet, so I don't know that, and I wouldn't spoil it if I did.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're still good. Arnold Schwarzenegger directs episode 2, I believe.
Really?
Of season 2.
I can't wait to see.
And he's in the introduction with the Crypt Keeper puppet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But so we'll get into that. But I think it's gonna be fun, man. I love these things, man. They're so much fun to watch. Low time commitment, 25 minutes, easy watches.
To watch.
So good. So, get Shudder if you don't have it, so you can follow along with this. But AMC Plus or just Shudder. AMC Plus is a better deal right now because you can get a whole year for $30 and just bang them out. And there's lots of other good shit. So that will do it. We'll let you know next deep dive if we're gonna do the first part of season 2 next or something else. But we'll discuss that then. But for now, that'll do it for our coverage of season 1 of Tales from the Crypt. If you enjoyed the show, please like, rate, review, do what you do. Tell your friends about Never Not Horror. If you want to support us outside of the show, go to youtube.com and search for Rich Hansel, and you'll find his channel. Go to steveclarkbooks.com, and you'll find links to my stuff there. We have merch at nevernothorror.dashery.com, where you can pick up some swag if you're into that. Next week will be our next deep dive review, and it'll be Richie's turn to pick. Last week I picked Phantasm. This week it's your turn, Rich. You said you think you know what you got this time. I'm all ears. I know what I'm doing. I'm all ears. What we got?
All right. I think this is one that you may have not ever seen.
Okay. I'm always on board to see something new.
It is a staple in the horror community, and it is Sleepaway Camp.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, I figured school's
Dude,
ending.
I'm so glad you picked that just because I need to watch it. But also, did you see that like last weekend Felissa Rose was in Hamilton at the toy store?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until after the fact. Like the toy store posted.
Yeah, I wanted to go, but I
because
just
my wife saw it on Facebook. She's like, "Do you know who Felissa Rose is?" And I was like, "I know the name. I know who she is, but I haven't seen what she's famous for."
I wanted to go so bad, and I missed out.
That was a Never Not Horror opportunity that we missed on. Like, we do a podcast.
Yeah. And I heard she's such a nice lady because the guy that owns the toy store is a friend of mine, and he's met her before and just loves her. Just him and his wife love her and say how nice she is, and
that's cool.
I wanted to go so bad, and they just.
I didn't know about it till after it was over, but
yeah. But anyways,
Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, I have never seen this movie. And I know there's a twist in this movie.
One of the all-time greatest twists in movie history. Not just horror history.
Yeah. I don't think I know what it is, but because somehow I've avoided, I don't think I know the twist.
All right.
So I'm going to watch it soon, but I'm glad you picked it. It's been on my list ever since we started this podcast. It's been like, as we go here, it's like the movies that I haven't seen that I know I should see.
And I will say it is streaming on Tubi, Plex, Amazon Prime, so about all of your big platforms are carrying it. Sleepaway Camp.
All right, perfect. All right, so that'll be next week. So do all the things, tell your friends, spread the word about the podcast, and help us get the word out. And then, come back next week or whatever it is. It's Never Not Horror.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was a long one.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.